Hello, my name is Nicole Donahoe, owner of Teddy Fly. I'm here with Gardenia Moore today, author of Reigning in Royalty. Oh, can't see it. There we go. Reigning in Royalty, fresh off the press, coming out to release on June 1st, but the pre-orders are up and available now. So, Gardenia, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, it's been on my heart for quite some time. Um, I guess it started with my girls mentoring group that I have. And it's been 13 years since I started the group. I was working at a school and I saw the young people and how the skills that they didn't have, and it bothered me. So I went to the principal and, told her about it. She said, okay, well, you start something. Because I was saying, Lord, what is this? And he was saying, well, you do something about it. So I started it. It's been 13 years. I have retired 8 years ago, and my assignment is still not over. The Lord still has me to go back there and work with these girls. And so they're fourth and fifth grade girls. And out of that, I still deal with some of the other girls, which is middle school and high school. And out of that, the Lord gave me Reigning in Royalty, the Elect Ladies. That's the name of that program. And then now, out of this, the Lord has given me a book, which I did not expect it to be. But I found that it is so important. It is so in my spirit about reigning in royalty. In other words, who are we? Who are we? Do we really realize who we are? And are we walking in that authority? That's why I got on my little
Right,
crown, just to
right,
represent that you are royalty. And you've got to realize that no matter what stage of life you're in, no matter what is going on in your life, because sometimes, we don't feel all of that. And
right,
even to us Christians out there, we don't always walk in our deity and who we are, and we live beneath our privilege. And so this has become a real life-changing experience for me. And this is what I'm saying. And this is to queens and kings.
Mhm.
It's for both that we need to
Yeah, I think
realize
it's
who
in
we are.
what is it? Is it chapter 6, I believe, where you talk about empowered to reign? Is that
Yes.
chapter 6?
Chapter 6.
Yeah, and you have the notes from your elect ladies, the girls that are in the
Yes.
Reigning Royalty program, and then you have the notes from men as well that you
Yes.
interviewed some Christian men and asked them
Yes.
some questions about reigning in royalty.
Yes.
And I think that's really neat that you have both of that in there to speak to the queens and the kings, like you said.
Yes. 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 I found it to be refreshing because to me, it's nothing like what you call a testimony. In other words,
Mhm.
what you're saying from you. We know a lot of things that we should do, even as Christians. We know we're supposed to
Right.
read the word and we're supposed to pray and we're supposed to do that. But in reality, what happens when you're having a problem with that? Because that's reality.
Hmm.
And so when you hear from other people what they're going through and how they got the victory, that's major to me. So in my books,
Right.
that's what you're going to find testimonies of real life people and what they've gone through. And so the girls, that really, really blessed me because I have girls that started with me in the fourth and fifth grade. I have one that is graduating from college next this month. As a matter of fact, May, she's graduating from college. I have another one that already graduated and it is in law school, and another one or two that are graduating from high school. So
Yeah.
it's just such a blessing to hear that it made a difference. It made a
Right.
difference of letting them know who they are. And with the guys, the Kings, it's the same thing. I have some testimonies in here that are such a blessing. It blessed me of what the men feel and what they're going through and the struggles and yet the victories. So that's a
Yeah.
blessing.
And I think, I mean, I had the privilege of being behind the scenes with you as you're writing it and going through the different things. And one of the things that really touched my heart, and it's in the book too, was just the emotion behind that, seeing God complete something, or like seeing it further down the road with these girls, because
Yes,
you said many of them, it was fourth and fifth grade that you started talking to them, and
yes,
now some of them are going into high school, college, or
yes,
graduating.
yes,
And
yes,
I mean, just to see
yes,
what God did by being obedient,
yes.
doing something, it it's really touching. Like,
It
and I
is.
can feel your emotion
Yeah,
in there. And maybe it's just
yeah,
because I was behind the scenes, but as
yes,
I'm reading it, it's just really powerful to just see that.
yes.
So another thing that I wanted to touch on is that throughout the book, you have very real conversations with God. Like you mentioned that he said about the mentoring program, well, why don't you do something, you
Right.
know? And so sometimes it kind of sounds like God has a little bit of an attitude with you. So like tell me about that, like just the realness of your talks with God.
You know what? I found the best thing to do is to be real because he already knows anyway. And
Yeah.
so, I've had conversations where I've questioned. I mean, I've even questioned writing this book, the first book too. Took 23 years to do that, but I realized it was in God's timing. And
Right.
even this one, I did not plan on this. And so I'm always questioning God. Well, God, I don't understand this and why this. And he has to come back direct with me. Sometimes he has to really shake me to say, because I said so. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, just like when I started my 501 with this. This is a 501, Reigning in Royalty, the Elect Ladies Incorporated. And I
Mhm.
thought that I was like, well, Lord, why do I need that? I just want to work with my little girls. I don't have a team. I don't need all of
Right.
that. And he just kept saying, just do it. Just do it. I got you. I got you. Because, sometimes I do complain. I do. But God is such a loving God. He's so forgiving that, he takes that in stride and say, okay,
Right.
I got to deal with her this way. So, all right, just go ahead. So I've gone, I've done it. I've watched God through the years of what he's done, even in this
Hmm.
program, even in the times when I've gotten discouraged and I was like, I don't know about all of this. Am I really making a difference? I don't hear from some of
Right.
these young people. They're not like me. I'm old school. And and then he'll throw something out there that just melts my heart, like the fact of what the girl said in the book. And you got to get the book to read it to know what these girls said. But it had me in
Yeah.
tears. So that love, I have that love for the young people also because of the lack of mentorship in my life. And so that's what I want to give
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, they often say that you need to write a book that you would want for your younger self. Or
Right.
many authors say that's what they do,
Yeah.
is they write a book that their younger self might need.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I see that with your mentoring and also in the books that you've written. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
this is what I would have wanted when I was younger,
Right.
and this is what I'm seeing people need out there
Right,
and stuff.
right. Sometimes
So,
the Lord allows you to go through things so that, and you don't always get it for yourself, but you have to go through the journey in order to
right,
give it to somebody else. And I've seen that a lot in my life of things that, I was like, Lord, even with the mentoring, like, why didn't I get it? I needed it at certain times. I asked you for it, but yet I didn't get it. But I had to go through
right.
the journey with him holding my hands. And now I realize why. I realize why. Because there's some things you got to go through in order to give to somebody else. And that's what this is. I guess that's so much part of the passion that I feel because of the fact that I didn't have it. So I want somebody else to have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for Christians, this message of reigning in royalty, why do you think it's such an important message for Christians specifically?
Because, like I said, sometimes we don't realize who we are and who God said we are and the deity that we have, the heir. We're heirs to Christ. And we don't always realize that and always walk in it. Yeah, we're Christians. This is what a Christian. Yeah, we're Christians and we're doing this and we're doing that. But in some of the areas, we're not. We forget what he has
Right.
said about that. And the enemy's biggest thing is to I would call psych you out. That's really what he does. He works on the mental and he talks you out of things because you're looking at the circumstances instead of what God
Mhm.
said. So this is just a reminder to all of us of who God said we are. And no matter what you're feeling, no matter what the circumstances is, you got to realize that and walk in it and tell the enemy
Right.
where to go. So that's a part of this also. There's some testimonies in there, some personal too, that I had to release because like I said, I'm big on testimonies of what God did. It's not always
Yeah.
okay, I know God can do this and I know God can do that. I know that I know that I know because I've gone through it. So that's one of the biggest
Right.
things. There's victory at the end of the journey. There's victory.
Right. Yeah, I think one of the stories that I liked most in the book was you were talking about a period in your life where you were like losing your mind or you felt that way. And you went to doctors, you went to different people to seek help, and everybody was saying, nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with you. And then you realized like it was a spiritual attack on you,
That's
and you
right.
were like, no, devil, this ain't
That's right.
happening. Like you took authority.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And so I thought that was so powerful because how many times I was thinking in my own life maybe that I didn't realize it was a spiritual attack until later. And
Right.
if I would have like sought God first instead
Mm-hmm.
of,
Mm-hmm.
second or third or fourth,
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. That was powerful. That was a real awakening. And this was years ago. Um, it's amazing of how he will let you know where you are in your faith, where you are in certain things. And there's some other things in the book also too, where in the earlier years of how I've learned to walk with him, how I've learned
Mhm.
to listen to him in the simple things. And that was major. So, we don't want to give it all away, but read the book
Nope.
because you're gonna hear some testimonies on how,
Yes.
what God is doing. Excuse me, y'all. Lord, I turned the phone off. You're going to hear testimonies on life lessons that I've learned and other people have learned on who God is. And it's the simplistic things sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes, God doesn't always speak in these and thous and the big prophetic utterance. He comes in the still small voice. Do this. Don't do that. I
Right.
got you. I love it. And sometimes we overlook it because we're looking for other things. No, no, he's going to come this way. No, he's going to say that. No, I already said it.
Yep.
I got you. You know?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
those are the things.
Yeah. So I am so grateful that you joined me today on this call. And I'll put the information on the bottom of the screen because,
Yes,
as I said, Reigning in Royalty is available for pre-order right now
yes,
on teddyfly.com. And
yes,
then come June 1st, it'll also be available on amazon.com as well. So we'll put that information on the screen. It will also be in
yes,
the comments as well. Is there
yes.
any other things that you'd like
Yes.
to let the audience know before we depart?
Well, I'm excited about this. I'm loving what God is doing. He's opening doors. And I believe that June 21st, I'm going to have a book signing author talk in New York. So if you know
Whoop, whoop.
New York people, I'm looking forward to seeing you. I plan on doing some things here in Atlanta. um God is just doing a whole different thing with this book than the first book. And it's not going to be just an author signing and you just buy the book, but we're going to have author talks. And those talks are going to be
Yeah,
on real life conversations, things that we need to talk about, even like the power of forgiveness. You're going to read in the book about somebody that had more than one person had the power of forgiveness. That's powerful. So we're going to talk
yeah,
about things that are going to bless you. My whole thing in writing a book is that God would have his way. People will be
yeah,
saved, delivered, set free, enlightened, and encouraged. That's what this is all about because that's what he's done for me. This year will be what, 52 years of salvation, and I'm
wow.
so grateful to God. I mean, he's brought me through some things and I'm so
Yeah,
grateful. So this is what I'm sharing. So listen, here's my little book. This is the copy, but the other one's going to be out soon, and I'm looking for you to read it, to be blessed by it and to share with other people.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Have you ever longed for a life of purpose, abundance, and unshakable confidence? While the world chases temporary riches, true royalty isn't found in wealth, it's already within you. What if the keys to limitless abundance were already in your hands? What if your divine inheritance was waiting to be claimed? What if you were created to reign? Introducing Reigning in Royalty, your invitation to walk in kingdom authority. Join Gardenia Moore, a bold and empowering woman of faith, as she guides you through a transformative journey to embrace your true identity as a child of the King. This isn't just another feel-good book. It's a divine call to step into the authority, confidence, and purpose that have been yours all along. In this book, you'll discover how to walk in your God-given identity with boldness and clarity, the power of kingdom authority and how to claim your inheritance, how to break free from limitations and step into divine abundance, what it truly means to be a joint heir with Christ. It's time to rise up, straighten your crown, and start reigning in royalty. Will you claim what's rightfully yours?